Hartcliffe and Withywood are considered kind of deprived communities within Bristol. So they've been fortunate in actually having government funding down. We had single regeneration budget money back in 2000, 2001. And then we were awarded neighbourhood renewal money, then became a neighbourhood management area, and then kind of took on the neighbourhood partnership and the neighbourhood forum stuff.
Hartcliffe and Withywood partnership have been in the area now for, I would think it must be coming up for 10 years. It acted as the, I suppose, the sort of source in which all that the money flowed through into the community in order for us to be able to actually improve the area. So lots of different organisations were linked in. Issues for our community have been sort of based around some of those things, so around drugs. We've got quite a few people that are alcoholics, we've got quite a few teenage parents. We have a lot of disabled people here, so access to services for some of those people is quite difficult. Like I've mentioned before, we had quite a lot of young people who weren't getting sort of decent qualifications or a qualification at all to be able to kind of progress into college or even into being able to kind of get a job. We had a lot of homes in the area that didn't have central heating or they just were inadequate. We still have quite a lot of people that are on benefits, and the story goes on. Hartcliffe and Withywood Community Partnership came about from Government Office of South West having kind of two pots of money. So there was the New Deal for Communities money, and then there was a single regeneration budget round 5. Residents at that time, there were quite a few that were very active within Hartcliffe and Withywood, so they came together with other partners, with agencies, and said that we wanted to kind of have control over that money and be able to kind of manage where that money got spent. The partnership has always had a majority of local residents. The board is made up of a majority of local residents with certain key partners, housing, police, health. We've also had a local councillor on that as well. But then what we also have from there is sort of specific kind of task groups. So we've got a housing and the environment task group, we've had a health, we've had community safety, we've had local ownership. What we try to do is to work with local people to encourage more sustainable and healthier lifestyles. We were able to apply for money to help us develop our work. So in fact, some of the work we're doing now on growing and the kitchen was actually funded through single regeneration money and all the sort of good work that went on there.
Within the Hartcliffe and Withywood, we support local groups as well, so we can help them set up meetings, we can help them bring together the correct people to come along to it, we can get the correct agencies. We listen to what residents want and we try to gear the work. So it can be very reactive to a situation at any one moment in time, or it can be just a support for local residents to come and sound off, and we can guide them and signpost them in the correct way to deal with the things that they want. For me, I would say the key achievement, would be signs. You know, you're probably aware by the pictures behind kind of what it looked like before, and the fact that after a bit of an upheaval within Hartcliffe, you know, services here, shops here kind of went downhill. And there have been groups in the past like CAT that kind of put a lot of effort into trying to get shop owners that existed within Symes to kind of, you know, provide a service for the communities of Hartcliffe and Withywood. So to have the opportunity to kind of be involved in getting a big store in like Morrison's, being able to kind of take part in influencing, you know, who was coming and how it would look, talking to residents about actually what they wanted to see here, I think has been massive. There's lots of projects that HWCP have led on and been involved in the community. One of them is the Big P. It came out of the, our environmental group called Pride of Place, and we wanted to look about inclusive play that had free open access for young people in Hartcliffe and Withywood, something that parents could take their children to during the holidays that was free and accessible for them. There have been some really good pieces of work. I would say it's the empowerment of local people. Some of the groups that have developed through working with HWCP and community safety. One being the WISH project, which is around domestic violence.
I think HWCP have been really successful, and I think it's because right from the beginning it was rooted in the local community, even before it was formed, the sort of essence of it, the single regeneration application was picked up and run with, using that, you know, the resources of the whole community.
I think we've been successful because we've had quite a large amount of local residents involved in this process throughout, from the single regeneration budget, you know, through to sort of where we are today.
HWCP has been successful because it has empowered local people, it's included local people in all levels of decision making.
I've worked here for 17 years and to my mind I see a very different estate these days than I did when I first started.
I think the local area has changed a lot, especially over the last 12 years of HWCP. There's lots of regeneration. You can walk around the community, you can see the new buildings, and there's a sense of purpose and excitement that actually residents have got a voice.
Being put forward for the Regeneration and Sustainable Communities Award is brilliant. It's just really exciting at this time for us also because of the sort of transition going into neighbourhood partnerships, neighbourhood forum, kind of recognising the work that we've done in the past is still really valuable, and I think it's really good to sort of celebrate that. So yeah, I'm really pleased.